Secure frequency breach detected. Unknown signal connected. Decryption protocol A executed. Transmission began. The dialect trap. An unconfirmed threat. Level red clearance required. Level 5 eyes only status leak. They want you to believe the war is horizontal. Left versus right. Religion versus secularism. Nationalism versus globalism. West versus east. They need you to believe that because if you ever saw the war as it truly is, vertically, you would burn their system to the ground. The truth is simple enough to fit in one classified sentence. They control both sides. Every war, every revolution, every political awakening, every street movement, every viral ideology, they gave it to you. Manufactured, injected, scaled, weaponized. This is not speculation, this is not theory, this is protocol, psychos, doctrine, control, both the problem and the solution. Keep the herd in motion, never empowered. The masses were never a threat until they learned to communicate. The internet changed human evolution faster than any biological mutation in history. For a moment, just a flicker, people began comparing reality to the lies that they were fed. The system suffered signal leakage, the deep state panic, the DARP disparate net mapping projects, tides, lifelines, deep storm, warned them. Once decentralized communication activates mass pattern recognition and lose narrative control. The response was immediate. Enter Operation Gatekeeper, Joint Task Force, CIA Psychological Operations Command, Mossad Information Warfare Division, MI6 Behavioral Influence Group, with quiet support from NSA Data Routing Arrays, and Unit 8200 Signal Intercepts. Objectives: hijack awakening, redirect descent, engineer false opposition. Phase 2 of the next, herd the awakening into dead ends. Case study the Groiper Protocol. If you want to control rebellion, you create a rebel archetype of faded anger. The Groipers were not an accident, they were a behavioral engineering project. Branding alone is psyop. What they call a mimetic classifier. Simple, sticky, expandable. Inject talking points across weaponized forms and promote fake leaders, fuentes, assets, witty or unwitty. Polarize with emotional bait. Escalate to hostility. The result, entire movement compartmentalized and tracked. The outcome, young men radicalized. Future threats identified, early controlled, political pressure released, and harmless theatrics, efficient, predictable. Another rebellion neutralized, another generation misled into hating instead of awakening. Case study next, the Zionist agenda narrative. You are not supposed to understand this part, so listen carefully. There is a difference between one, critiquing geopolitical power networks, two, blaming entire groups of people when the system collapses as people ever learn nuance. The phrase Zionist agenda exists for one reason, to redirect legitimate geopolitical investigation into racial paranoia and circular noise. It's a psychological decay. It's a psychological decoy. Yes, there are global power networks connected to financial lobbies, intelligence sharing agreements, and military alliances, mostly based in the US, London, Tel Aviv, Brussels. That's not conspiracy, that's geopolitics. But the moment any analysis begins to uncover real structures of global influence, banking monopolies, corporate media consolidation, security state alliances, the hate is injected to derail thought, divide, polarize, discredit, control. Result, truth lost, hate amplified, people blinded. Again, another dialect, successfully engineered in real architecture. Here is the forbidden tier. The deep state is not the top. CIA, Mossad, MI6, NSA. These are middle management. They take orders above them. Sits a non-elected power class that floats between governments, bank dynasties, permanent war, economists, global security contractors, rare earth monopoly holders, central bank architects. They do not care about nations. They own them. Above that, most people cannot process this, but there is a third layer, the ancient layer, the non-human layer. Call them reptilian, call them archons, call them predators of frequency. The name is irrelevant, their signature is simple. They do not conquer planets by force, they conquer perception. They weaponize belief. They feed off divided minds. The trick is always the same. Create two sides, control both, feed on chaos, left versus right, left versus woke, anti-Zionists versus Zionists, East versus West, religion versus atheism, science versus spirit, chaos versus order, binary systems, false choices, farm the conflict. Operational warning to anyone reading this: if you fall into hate, you've already been captured. If you blame entire races, you're already controlled. If you think one side is good and the other is evil, you are inside the dialect. If you think you have finally found the real enemy, you're wrong again. The truth, the real enemy, is the architecture of manipulation itself. The deep state psychops machine, the engineers of belief, the feeders. Humanity never stood a chance until now. End of transmission. Renegade signal resumes shortly.